Yo, what's going on, snipers, and welcome back to our Ottawa Senators franchise mode. So in last episode, we started up the season, and we are 21-3-1 at December the 1st, 8-2-0 in our last 10. This team has just been really inning so far, and we have so much depth scoring, it's really amazing. So I'm going to be pre-recording this episode. It's being recorded on the Sunday just because I think this team probably is going to be a playoff team, so I'm going to sim the rest of the season. And we could see who we're up against in the first round if we can continue to play this way. Hopefully we can. The team is gelling. I think it's mostly because we have Thatcher Demko between the pipes. We've never had a goalie that good, I don't think, in this organization ever. And I mean even before I took over. So let's continue the simulation game against Detroit and in Toronto. It's a little bit of a road trip. And it looks like we're going to continue our winning ways. Yep, we're going to continue with the wins. Hopefully this is a nice 60-win season or something. And hopefully we can continue this in terms of the playoffs as well. Because usually teams that win the President's Trophy, it's very hard for them to win the Stanley Cup too. If we could do both of those this year in year number 5, that would be pretty good to start off with. Because we still have a lot of good prospects and stuff like that that we could be playing in a couple of years too. So I feel like this team could be one of those teams that contend year in and year out. So we've lost 2 games this month. There's a shootout loss, so the AI kind of has to give us a couple losses. You know how the simulation works. Usually it gives you a lot of wins, and then it has to give you a little bit of a losing streak. So Prohorkin has been injured with a concussion in the AHL. Let's just go replace player. He's one of our better prospects down there in the minors. We're gonna have to start thinking about moving people out in the off season probably, because there's guys like Baumgartner who are getting closer to NHL ready as well. So yeah, more teams wanting Hinostroza, but we traded for Hinostroza at the start of the season, or at the off season, just because he was a nice pickup for the third line right wing spot. So Artem Loktionov has been injured with a sprained ankle. That's not good. I don't remember if we have any dev forwards. I don't think we do. Kaliev, how are you on the draw? Not that good. Hinostroza might be. No, he's not. How about Johnson? No, not good either. Damn, this isn't that good. So I guess Batherson will go up. Remy Ellie, I guess you could play center for now, even though you have 67s on the draw. And wait, actually we have Jermaine Rubstov. I forgot about Rubstov. How did I forget about Rubstov? I don't know how. You'll substitute him in there. He was actually really good to start the season. As you can see, he had 9 points in 11 games before we scratched him because we had to call up Loktionov, because Loktionov was NHL ready and I didn't want to leave him down there in the minors. So Flanagan, you could come out, and Prohorkin, you could go back in down there in the minors. Because Vijamo is already ready to be a 4th line forward apparently on our NHL club, so we're going to have to think about who we want to move out and who we want to keep for this team for next season and whatnot as well. But we are still getting a W's. We're almost 36-2, which is probably one of my best seasons ever, I think, other than my one in Carolina. I don't know how we're going to finish in comparison to that. And against Montreal, and is it a win? Yes, it is. So we are 37-2 at January the 1st. Let's quickly save this because obviously I don't want to lose that. So now Colin White's leading the team in points with 35 points in 39 games. Yeah, that top line is pretty dynamite. Mostly because of the fact that Tkachuk and Plekhanov are really good. And Plekhanov's contract ends at the end of this year, so we're going to have to give him a pretty big upgrade. I might actually want to give him a mid-season contract renewal. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Why not add something to just simulating? I don't know how much term we want to give him, because I don't think we're going to be able to get Demko back for next year, but I could be wrong. So Plekhanov, let's offer you an extension. I actually like that offer. 5 years. Let's go a little bit less because you could always get them for a bit less. Let's go 5.3 for 5 years. That's a pretty good, I think that's pretty good for a player like him. To get him for 5 years at only 5.3. And then he's going to be 25 by the time his contract ends. Which means we're going to have to sign him at least to maybe another 2 contracts if we want him to retire with us. So let's go to the end of January. We have games against Washington, Toronto, and Montreal to start this off. Can we beat Washington? Yes, we do in a shootout. And Bakanov accepted. I've always wanted to play with a top-ranked team, so it was an easy decision to stick with this organization. So apparently we're a top-ranked team now, even though last year, not last year. Last year we made round 1, but the year before that we were kind of a rebuilder still. So Rubstov, you are out of the lineup now. He's probably going to lose morale, I don't know. Loktionov go back up, and Batherson stays on the 4th line. Game against Toronto, who are struggling, and it's a loss 3-2, unfortunately. So LaJoy's been injured in the AHL. Let's just go replace player. It sucks that LaJoy has no potential in this first roster build that we used. Okay, so yeah, we're not doing too bad still this month. 2-1, and we beat Pittsburgh. LaJoy is back for the AHL club. See, like, Fajemo is already ready to be a 4th liner. Mironov is really close. Bukhsharov is close. Osgood's close. Like, there's literally so much good prospects in the minors as well that this team is going to literally be probably a contender next year as well. If we don't win this year, I think we could win next year. But hopefully we win this year considering how good we are playing. There's a nice 5-1 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. Can we beat the Rangers and Detroit as well? And we beat the Rangers, but we lose to Detroit, so we're 34-9-2. Geez, we almost have 40 wins before we have 10 regulation losses. There's the shootout win over Vancouver. Game against San Jose is another shootout win, so we're getting a lot of shootout wins this month actually, but whatever. Game against the Edmonton Oilers. And is it another win? No, it's a loss. So, and LaJoy's been injured again in the minors, okay? So we're 36-10-2, and we have one more game this month against the Flyers on the 31st. So we're getting really close to getting the 40 wins already, even though we still have like all of February pretty much, and March, and some of April. Last little bit of the month, can we beat the Flyers, who are also doing really good, and we lose 6-1 against them. So we are 36-11-2 at February the 1st. Let's go again another month, just because we're trying to get this season done like as quick as we can, kind of, because we know we're going to be a playoff team almost at this point. So game against the Nashville Predators, we just beat Winnipeg. And we're continuing our winning ways. We're almost at 40 wins. Gagne's been injured. Okay. Minor seems like it's suffering more injuries than the NHL club at this point. The AHL team's actually doing really good as well. I haven't realized that. 27-11-7. No thank you. Game against Chicago, who's also playing good. We lose to them 5-2. So we're losing against the other good teams. But that doesn't mean anything. We could play against them good in the playoffs or something. So we win 6-1 against the Rangers. Game against Tampa Bay, who's also doing pretty solid. And we beat them nice. As long as we beat those Eastern Conference teams. So Gagne is back. I'll just leave him because he was a depth guy anyways. I think he was replacing LaJoy again probably. Yep, we're going on a winning streak again, and we have already over 40 wins. And we only have 12 regulation losses. This might be one of the best seasons I've ever had. I don't remember exactly what my record was with Carolina that one season, if you guys were watching me in NHL 18. And is it another win against Carolina or no? Yes, it's another win. Holy crap. Oh, I love this team. The way they're simulating, it's really good. I think it's because we have so much depth, though, because, like, if you look at not our center core, our right wing core, especially, you have, like, Plekhanov, who's an 86. You have Gallagher, who's, like, an 85, 84. And then you have, Hinostroza, like, an 82. So you have, like, a pretty good depth side on that. And on the left side, like, you got Tkachuk, you got Teravainen, and then you also got somebody else who I can't remember. Oh, yeah, Johnson. So you got also an 82 on the third line. So it's a pretty deep team. So Brian McCutcheon has been injured with a strained hamstring. Let's just go replace player because they'll put probably in Bergman or something. So at the deadline, we are 48, 12, and 2. This is setting up for a really good season. And Colin White's over point per game. Wow. I've never seen a player on it. I've never had a player that's over a point per game, in quite a long time, I don't think. It doesn't happen that often in GM modes, at least when you have it on, the normal sliders. So obviously I'm not going to make any trades this year. This team is just playing really good on their own. So let's just continue the simulation. Even though I wouldn't mind making something to pick up some good depth, I think we have pretty much all we need. So this last game against Columbus to end this month, can we win 2? Yes, we do. And we almost have 50 wins already before we have 15 regulation losses. That's pretty insane. Okay, so March now, which is also a pretty busy month. Can we beat New Jersey? Oh, we lose to them apparently. We have to get a losing streak going. So we are getting some good growth, it looks like. Still, Loktionov's up to a 79. So Bergman, you are the guy that just came in from McCutcheon. No, not Rask. I don't want Rask in that line. There you go. McCutcheon in. Yeah, this team is gelling. We got depth everywhere, and I think it's just because Demko just is the glue that holds this line up together pretty much. Because he's a really good goaltender. I don't know if he's won a Vezina yet or not in this GM mode. Probably not, because he's pretty young. Game against New Jersey is another win. We have 55 wins already. Damn, this is insane. Are we going to get a 60-win season here? This team is literally, I think we've only lost 2 games in our last 20 games almost. Which is ridiculous. There's another loss. Of course, we have to get some losses in. There's back-to-back losses, 3 losses in a row. Yeah, the simulation has to give us those apparently. Tony DeAngelo, no thank you. We got some depth already on defense. Game against Tampa Bay is another loss that had to give us a 4-game losing streak right at the end of the season. And we got 5 more games here in April. Game against Washington. We lose to them as well, but then we beat the Flyers. Can we get 50? I want 60 wins, please. One more win. We lose to Buffalo. Can we get 60 wins, please? Against Tampa Bay, can we get 60 wins? Yes, we do, and we finish 60, 20, and 2. That is an insane season for the Ottawa Senators. And Pekanov finished over point per game in his 3rd season. Good, we gave him that contract extension to 5 years. And it's a pretty good contract renewal. 5 years at 5.3. That's a pretty good steal. So let's take a look at player stats. Actually, let's get to the playoff part first, just to make sure. It is all teams played all 82 games. Just making sure. Yep, everybody's played all 82 games, so the standing stuff won't change. So let's take a look at player stats and then the team stats, and then we will see who we're up against in the first round. So let's actually sort by each position. So starting off with centers, Colin White, 82 points in 82 games, 43 goals, 39 assists, and he was a plus 34. Holy crap. That's pretty good, and he's also making a pretty good contract too, 5.69. Logan Brown, 55 points on that second line. Jesus Christ. And Drake Batherson, 32 points in 82 games on that 4th line, actually. He was playing some 3rd line. And then Loktionov, 27 points in 67 games. And Rubstov, 10 points in 15 games. So Logan Brown was the only really badly minus center on this team so far. Well, actually, out of these guys. In terms of left wingers, Brady Tkachuk, 77 points in 82 games, 23 goals, 54 assists, also a plus 34. Teravainen on that second line, 58 points, but he was on the first line power play, I think. Johnson, 38 points on that 3rd line, and Remy Ellie on that 4th line, 32 points. Damn. Right wing wise, Pekanov, 83 points in 82 games. He was a plus 39 this year. Look at his career stats so far, and he jumped up to an 88. He is off to a pretty damn good start. Gallagher, 54 points on that second line. Kaliev, 32 points in his rookie year on the 4th line, actually, I think, yeah. And his throws at 28 points in 82 games on that 3rd line. Defensively, Thomas Chabot, 39 points. Cal Foote, 34. Those were the top 2 pairing. McCutcheon, 18 points on the top 6 pairing, and he only missed a couple games. Wisniewski, 14 points. Rask, 12 points. Cernak, 7 points, and he was a plus 31. Holy crap. On that top 6 pairing. Jeez. And Bergman, no points in 3 games. And then goaltending wise, Demko was 53, 17, and 2 with 7 shutouts at 931 save percentage and a 2.15 goals against average, while Gustafsson was 10, 4, and 1 with a 910 save percentage and a 2.84 goals against average. Damn, this team literally is insane how the production went. So let's take a look at the entire league, see how they ranked up against the rest of the league. So Connor McDavid led the league though with 111 points this season. Sagan was second with 95 points. Imagine if we would have signed Sagan as well instead of Demko. I think that's why the Canucks were able to sign Sagan, is because they lost Demko. In terms of goaltending, let's see. Demko's getting the Vezina this year, I think. Unless for some reason Frederik Andersen does. But Demko played 73 games this year. So defenseman, obviously we don't have a Norris winner. No, we don't. John Klingberg and Doughty are tied with 65 points. Goaltending wise, actually not goaltending wise, we just did that. Rookie skater wise, I mean, is Mauricio Boro for the Islanders, 59 points. Wow. Okay, so that is that. Now let's take a look at the team stats. What was really our strength this year? Like, was it our power play or our penalty kill, or was it just both? So goals for per game. On average, we were the second best offensive team behind the Edmonton Oilers. Goals against per game, we were the second best, or not second best, tied for second best actually, with Arizona behind the Boston Bruins. Interesting. Our power play percentage was top 10. I don't know what that is. 6th? Yeah, 6th in the league, 23.9%. And our penalty kill is the top penalty kill in the entire league, 88.9%. We had 2 shorthanded goals, so not a lot of shorthanded goals, but we played good defensively. We were 31-9-1 on home ice, 29-11-1 on the road, and 4-6-0 in our last 10, because obviously the simulation had to give us a bit of a losing streak. Okay guys, so now let's see who we're up against in the first round. Hopefully it's a team that we could beat. And it's going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. At least they don't have like Sergei Ulyanov from our Carolina series. Because if they had Ulyanov, we would not stand a chance, because Ulyanov was an insane goaltender. Okay, so let's take a look at Carolina's lines. Obviously, they don't have Teravainen anymore because we have Teravainen. I'm not sure who they have still. So they got Aho, Nikas, and Svechnikov. Yeah, that's why Nikas had such a good season, because he was up there in points last year. Yeah, 85 points last year. It's because he's playing alongside Svechnikov. Let's see Svechnikov's stats. 52 points this year, 68 last year. Yeah, he scores a lot of goals. And in Aho, how good is he? He's pretty good as well. Yeah, it's their top line mostly. Because the second line, LeBanc, Shore, and Gauthier isn't that good. Third line, Connor Brown, Stahl, who's dropping, and Gabriel Bork. Yeah, this team is not that good depth-wise. Bertuzzi, Simon, or Simone, I think it's pronounced, and Gauntz. Yeah, this team is reliant on their top line, it looks like, mostly. And then defensively, yeah, they're relying on their defensive core as well. Fleury and Falk, Slavin and Bean, and Pesci and Letang. So yeah, it's their defensive core and their top line that's helping them out a lot. Goaltending wise, they got Nedeljkovic, who usually simulates pretty bad in the playoffs, and Mike Smith. Scratch, they have Curtis Lazar, Mark Pysyk, and Jeremy Waugh. So they still have a lot of good depth defensemen as well. So I think we should be able to beat this team just because our offense is a lot better, but it depends on how their defense simulates, because their defense is a lot deeper than ours. So, final thing, what do we want to check? I guess we should check the AHL player stats as well. I didn't check those to see how, like, Prohorkin and all those guys simulated. Out of curiosity. Probably not as good as the NHL, but still. So, Chalapik 55, Pushkarev 50 points. And yeah, he's going to be NHL ready next year. Fajamo 50 points, he's going to be NHL ready. Baumgartner is getting close to NHL ready. Mironov as well. Holy crap, Osgood too. There's so much good prospects down here. Like, literally, I'm going to have to make some really tough decisions coming up. Like, on who we let go. How about McPherson? He was a low elite, 66. Okay. And what about goalie-wise? Fowler, wow, that's actually a pretty good season for him. He's going to be in the backup next year. So I think if we let go of Demko, he's going to be in the NHL. Because he just did have a really good season. 32, 17, and 8, 5 shutouts. Yeah, really good. And Zimmerman, okay. So the AHL club looks like it played pretty good as well. They probably made the playoffs too, more than likely. So anyways, guys, that is going to do it for this episode of Versen's GM Mode. So next episode, we're going to take it to round 1 against the Carolina Hurricanes and hope to continue our winning ways into the second round. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.